So Zach, 4-2 victory over Charlton this afternoon. Just talk to me about your assessment of the game.
Yeah, I think the boys came out the traps flying. I think that was our game plan. Well, our starting point from this point onwards, really. We found that it works when we play with energy. We play front-footed. And I think from minute one we put it on them. The two boys up top, Mao and Andre. They have bundles of energy, and I don't think the back line of Charlton could handle it. So yeah, really pleased.
You spoke about the start of the game, going 2-0 up so early in the first half. It really gave us a good platform to build on, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And to be fair, I was thinking, I think it was 10 minutes into the second half, the atmosphere today is probably the best I've seen it since I've been at the club. It was absolutely electric, and I think the fans are starting to see what we can produce, especially at home. And when they see us playing with such energy, such intensity, they can't help but get behind us. So yeah, I think that was definitely a massive plus.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because earlier in the season we were sort of saying that, you know, the players wanted a bit of a spark from the fans. The fans wanted to see something from the players to give them a little bit of a spark. But it was interesting to see the sort of energy between the fans and the players today. It helped drive each other on.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like it's our job to kind of get the fans off their seats and to make them want to scream and shout and get behind us. That's what they pay their hard-earned money for, to come to a football match and see a performance put on by us. So I think it's a bit unfair to have expectations that they should be in full voice when we're not performing the way we should be. And I think it's evident since the performances have turned and served the results. The fans have been absolutely immense. Especially today, I was in awe.
What do you think has turned recently in terms of, because the results and the performances, there has been a real uptick, especially since the turn of the year. What do you put that down to?
I'll say it's a bit of the group having an understanding of what we're all capable of and how we can get the best out of each other. I said early on in the season when I'd not long joined that we've had so many bodies through the door, me included. We've all been at different clubs and used to different styles of play, and sometimes it takes some time to gel. And you know, some of the boys, this is their first time moving away from home, and there's outside factors that come into it, unfortunately. But now I think, you know, the boys are flying at the minute. I think each and every one of us know what the next man next to them can do, what their best attributes are. And I think the bare minimum, really, which we found as our foundation, is playing with real intensity and hunger. And if the performance on the ball isn't that great, at least we've got that to fall back on. And 9 times out of 10 in this league, you get your rewards.
A number of partnerships have seemed to have been developing as well. I mean, none more so than yourself and Hakeem Adoffin at the heart of the defence. You seem to really enjoy playing with each other.
Yeah, strange of hacks. I don't really understand how that's really come about. Really, it's like me and him have been playing for years. It's like I know what he's going to do. He knows what I'm going to do. I know what he's thinking almost. It's not anything that we've spoken about or really worked on. It's just a partnership that's organically kind of grew. And yeah, I really enjoy playing with hacks. We have a saying before games is 1s and 0s. If you can't get a clean sheet, then the most we concede is 1. Me and him were kicking ourselves because they got a late consolation. I think that late goal kind of stopped us going above them in the table by goal difference, I think. But yeah, I think in the grand scheme of things, if we keep performing like that, that's not going to mean anything, because our target is to shoot up that table and hopefully the unbeaten run and the wins continue.
You spoke about goals at important times, and none more so than when you popped up with your first league goal for the club. They just pulled a goal back, seemed to be building up a head of steam to get that goal just before half time. Firstly, what did it mean to score, and for yourself personally and for the team going into the break?
In all honesty, I didn't know much about it. To be honest with you, I just saw, I think I went for a shot and it got blocked, and it just set up nicely, and I just kind of put my head on it and it went in. But yeah, I think that just shows the character of the boys. I think early on in the season, and I've also been part of groups previously where you can be well on top and then you you can see the sucker punch, and then it can kind of knock the stuffing out of you, and then it's back to square one. But we just carried on doing what we were doing. We didn't let it affect us. We saw what our style of play and our level of intensity was doing to them, and yeah, we just, as soon as we kicked off for the restart, it was straight back to what we were doing. So yeah, I think that's just purely down to mentality and desire from the boys.
And in this run of form, we've picked up some results against some good sides who are pushing towards the top end of the table. I mean, that must give you so much confidence heading into, the rest of the season, really.
Yeah, it's difficult when you look at the table and you I guess you can big other clubs up a little bit too much because of where they are in the league. I feel like when we play like the way we've been playing recently, I feel like honestly we can beat anybody. So whether we're playing second in the league or a team 24th in the division, it has to be the same mentality, because you look at the results every week, you have everybody beating everybody, and for us it's just about maintaining that consistency, also having that self-belief, that we can beat anyone, and genuinely that's my feeling. That's also all of the boys' feelings in the dressing room, that if we turn up, we're a match for any side in the league.
And what do you think is achievable this season? I mean, the win takes us to within, I think it's 7 points of the playoffs now. Is that the target?
Well, when I first signed, I said I joined this football club for one reason only, and that's, well, not one reason, but one of the main reasons was promotion back to the Championship. The club has a rich history of producing that. Every time I played against a Rotherham side, it's been an absolute nightmare. I've hated it. And at the beginning of the season, we weren't that. But now I do feel like I'm part of a Rotherham side that I once played against years ago when they were causing me nightmares. So that's definitely a positive. I think for us, you just have to take it game by game. I think when you start looking too far ahead, you can kind of get lost. So yeah, we just need to keep focusing on the next one. We have a few winnable games coming up, but as I said, everyone's beatable, so every game for me is winnable. So yeah, we just have to keep focused and see where we end up.